Yeah. So what we said was uh, jnanam and vijnanam, if they come together, then we have to redefine what jnanam is and vijnanam is, which is what we did today. And savijnanam means vijnanena saha, along with vijnanam. That is the literal meaning of savijnanam. Along with, I will teach you jnanam along with vijnanam, along with special, literal translation would be special knowledge. Okay, that's the literal meaning. And the way we interpret that is aparoksha jnana. Aparoksha jnana. Jnanam will be what? Paroksha jnana. All the capacities of Ishvara, Bhagavan, Parameshvara, Krishna Avatara, what are all the things I can do? That is jnana. But then aparoksha jnana, that knowledge of you, Arjuna, being non-separate from me, that is vijnana. Okay. So we'll see more of that. Yeah, Prasad.
Yeah, namaste. So I can also think this way: Jnanam is Veda is Jnanam because it points me to the Brahman, the reality that Brahman is. Vijnana is seeing that Brahman in everything. That is my living reality. Is that definition correct?
So jnanam is what the Veda teaches.
I mean, Veda is Jnanam because it points like the Sravana and Manana. So I get the Jnanam because it points me to the reality that Brahman is. Now, Vijnana is, Nididhyasana, where it becomes my living reality that Brahman is everywhere. That reality to me that Brahman is everywhere.
So Brahman is yeah, you can say that. So jnanam is Vedas, you're saying. So
Which points me, yeah, because that's it gives me the pointer that implied that this is Brahman, the reality is Brahman.
So jnanam teaches vijnana. That is what you're saying. Jnanam, the Vedas, teaches vijnana.
Vijnana.
Yeah. Yeah, generally I've not seen jnanam being translated as Vedas. Translated as Vedas. Okay. So there may be that interpretation that I'm not aware of. Because here he says savijnana. Jnanam along with vijnana. So therefore, yeah, maybe there is that interpretation. I don't know. But yeah, so the idea is that there are not two different knowledge. There are not two knowledges. Okay, there can't be two knowledges, correct? And so, therefore, we have to bring in why Krishna has said jnanam and vijnanam. Two separate words is used. Separate words used because the world is entrenched in Dvaita. Entrenched in Dvaita. Therefore, my entry to Advaita is through Dvaita only. Through Dvaita only, I have to appreciate Advaita. World is not going to change suddenly when we talk about Advaita. World continues to remain exactly as it is. And so, therefore, Jnanam, and then through the Jnanam, Vijnanam is being understood. It's also a way to look at it. This is what it is. It's Paroksha and Aparoksha. And yeah, so yeah, as long as you can appreciate that, that's good.
Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna said one of the like reaching to the top of the roof is jnana. Then the process of reaching to that, like by saying neti neti to everything, is vijnana because you know that the Brahma is everything. I mean, everything is Brahma. So that's type of example Sri Ramakrishna I heard sometime.
So jnanam is sadhanam, and vijnanam is the sadhya vishaya, what is to be understood. Yeah, that is also fine. Okay. So here is a question from Satyaji. My understanding of jnana is theoretical knowledge, uh, whereas vijnana is experiential. Okay. I hope you understand the question first. Theoretical knowledge, experiential knowledge. Okay. This is this is a popular question. Okay. And it comes from the following knowledge that we all have. What is the knowledge? Theory. There is theory and then there is practice. Correct? The whole pursuit, our whole life is based on theory and practice. And you have to, you know something, and then you have to implement it. Practice means implement it. The recipe. Now that I'm retired, now I have time for making some new recipes. I'm looking at some recipe books and then I'm playing around. So I'm knowing more and more, but not useful. Neither to me it's useful, nor to the people around me also useful. Why? Because it has to be implemented. No point knowing a recipe without doing something about it. So theory, practice, theory, practice, theory, practice. Our whole mindset is only this theory and practice. And when we look at the Shastra, we are going to look at it with that mindset. Theory, practice, practice. Correct? Theory, practice. Now, suppose, uh, what did we say? What did we say about this Shastra? Apraptasya praptihi versus praptasya prapti. Apraptasya praptihi. Everything, this theory practice will work only with apraptasya prapti. What is to be accomplished that is not yet accomplished. Their theory practice works. That is their theory practice. I want to get somewhere. Knowing how to get somewhere will not get me somewhere. Correct? Knowing how to get somewhere is important. After that, what? You got to implement it. Okay, that is apraptasya prapti. That's why we have to get our heads around this. Praptasya prapti. Accomplishing what has already been accomplished. This is a huge step. And the minute we go, take that step, praptasya prapti, the fullness that I want cannot be obtained by any amount of practice. Practice means karma, action. No action can produce the fullness that I'm looking for. The fullness I'm looking for, I must already be. Otherwise, there is no chance. Otherwise, it's all theory. That is called praptasya praptihi. And when we talk about praptasya praptihi, this knowledge and theory and practice coalesce. There is no longer theory and practice. It is jnanam, pure jnanam, and knowledge of what is, what am I, who am I. That is why they say, who am I? Once I know who I am, then there is nothing to practice. We have to get our heads around this sooner or later. Okay. Suppose I say, okay, so knowledge of what is, what I am. What did we say? The ignorance of my own nature is what prevents me, is what makes me a seeker constantly. I'm seeking because I'm incomplete, I'm inadequate. But if the Shastra can show me that I lack nothing, I lack nothing means I lack literally nothing. And that is possible only if I am not the body, I am not the mind. Because the minute I say I am the body, then I am always going to be lacking something or the other. I am the mind, lacking something or the other. I may be very sharp, very intelligent, this and that, but still subject to ups and downs, subject to elation and depression. So it is not going to leave us, and therefore, this practice not being needed at all. This is only knowledge. This is peculiar knowledge. This jnanam is peculiar. That savijnanam means that peculiarity. Hey, this is not just knowledge. This is a very peculiar stuff. Peculiar stuff. And so, and there, knowing what is not only the means, it is the end also. The game also gets over after you know what is. Correct? And so, if I ask you, what is this? This is a pot. Okay. Are you theorizing the pot or practicing the pot? You must say something. Is this theory or practice? It's neither theory nor practice. It is a pot, it's a statement of fact. Statement of fact. Statements of facts are neither theory nor practice. Okay, you can put it under theory, all right. But here, revealing the nature of Atma is neither theory nor practice. It is a statement of fact, and that fact is an end in itself. Like what? Somebody, you're scared looking at the snake. Somebody says, wait, come. No, I'm not going to come. There's a snake there. Okay. Wait. Yeah. So I'll have a trick, okay? Just relax. Relax. What do you mean? No, relax. I want to tell you something. You want to tell me something? There's a snake there. Don't you understand? Get something. Get a stick. Get a gun. Do something. Call the cops. Okay. We'll do all that. Just relax for a second. You want me to relax for a second? In this stressful environment, and so it is all full of stress. Work is stress, family is stress, and children are stressed, parents are stressed, in-laws are stressed, and you are asking me to relax. Yeah, I understand. I empathize with you. Correct. Just for a second, okay? For a second, relax. Take a deep breath. Okay. Now, what are you cooking today, etc.? No, I finished cooking. It's just dinner time's coming. Okay. All right. So, did you have a rope at home? Do you have a rope? Yeah, there's a rope. Yeah, I kept it there only. Yeah. See the rope? You mean that rope? That rope, you mean? Yes. That's a rope. Oh, it's not a snake? No, it's not a snake. It's a rope. Tell me. All fear is gone. All fear is gone. No more fear. No snake. Tell me, are you theorizing or practicing? Is this theory or practice? You please tell me. Think about it. Think about it and tell me in the next class, is this theory or practice? Or does it fall in the category of theory practice dichotomy? Knowledge of what is eliminates fear completely. Knowledge of what is. That's it. There's nothing more than that in the story. I told you what is there. That's all. I didn't tell you anything. You are not doing anything else. That person is not doing anything. Just saw. That's all. And the entire fear gone. Completely gone. Not even a dash of fear is there. All he can say is, what a fool I was. That's all he can say. All along, what a fool I was. Same thing here also. Same thing here also. Therefore, we have to slowly get, summary of this discussion is what? Slowly we have to get out of this theory practice dichotomy. It is all it is all apraptasya praptihi. It is all in the vyavaharika satyam. That is true. Theory practice will always be there. But when it comes to paramarthika satyam, nahi chalega. Theory practice dichotomy will not work. That mindset itself has to be given. This is what I want to offer to you, Satyaji. Think about it, and if you have any questions, let's discuss further. Okay? Yeah. Meera Narayanan.
I had one question. In all the preceding chapters where he was referring to Gnanam, I thought he was referring to Aparoksha Gnanam only. So does he change, saying that now when he says Gnanam, Savignanam, he is referring Gnanam to Paroksha Gnanam or Aparoksha Gnanam?
No, he is not changing. He is not changing the definition of jnana. And just because he used the word savijnanam, we are changing the definition of jnana. Means we are saying no, Krishna means in this word, Krishna means in this shloka, this word jnanam cannot mean aparoksha jnana.
Okay, so only with reference to this shloka.
Correct.
Okay.
Vaidyanatha.
Namaste, Jai Kumar ji. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you shed some light on the theory practice confusion, which I think is a major confusion in different places where you'll see translations of Bhagavad Gita. This theory practice confusion. And then I'm wondering if the origin of this is, you listen to a teacher like yourself, we are listening in the class, and then you're saying that, you're the only reality in the universe, right? And we understand that that each of us is the only reality in the universe. Atma is the only reality in the universe. Now, but that fact to sink in and become your own, takes some process, right? I've heard that is a process. And so I wonder if, because of the fact that it takes some time to make it your own, so that you are steadfast in the knowledge. And, a lot of it is adhikaritvam, you're preparing yourself at the same time and so on, right? Whether this has come about because of that this Atma has to be experienced, etc.
Yeah. So the point is that the statement is said, and between the statement being said and begins to sink in, to the time when it is really sunk in, and you can confidently say, I am a Sthita Prajnaha, etc. It takes some time. It's a process. And yeah, agreed, it's a process. And so does savijnanam, etc. mean that process is involved here, Arjuna? You understood it now, but then yeah, you have to grab a hold of it, take a hold of it until it becomes your own. Okay. And so there is a lot of practice involved, some abhyasa involved. Krishna already said abhyasena tu kaunteya, etc. So why don't we bring that here, right? Yeah, so that's not the way Shankara sees it. And you can think of it that way. That's a way of interpreting also. It's a way of interpreting. But the danger there is of interpreting is, I might think that again, due to practice, practice makes perfect. That's a very popular statement. Wherever you go, I turn around, I see this, okay? Which is true. Practice makes perfect. Therefore, here also practice makes perfect. You can't perfect Atma anywhere. Atma cannot be perfected. It does not need my help. Okay. And even I'm ignorant, still Atma is unaffected. And so that whole idea has to be properly understood. And so we don't want to interpret it in a way that can potentially do a disservice somewhere else. Okay. Yeah. Good observation, right there. Yeah, Sundari.
Two thoughts came to my mind. One is, I couldn't help but thinking, Marathai Maritadu Mamadayane, Marathidu Marindadu Mamadayane, Parathai Maritadu Parmudal Budam, Parathil Marindadu Parmudal Budam. When you are explaining about the part. The second thought that came to my mind was this Dvaitam, Visishta Dvaitam and Advaitam. To me, it looks like a progression that is from Dvaita to Visishta Dvaita to Advaita. I don't know whether I'm right or This thought came to my mind.
So yeah, I mean, Dvaita is there. We don't need a big literature to figure out that this is all Dvaita. Because already we all know that Dvaita is what we experience as children. And yeah, many people say that it's a progression, Dvaita to Vishishta Dvaita. But I'm careful. When we say that, we have to be careful, because there may be a Vishishta Dvaita listening to this, and he will not agree with that.
True,
Who are
I
you to
understand
tell me that? Who are you to tell me that Vishishta Dvaita is a stepping stone to Advaita? Hey, Advaita is a stepping stone to Vishishta Dvaita, okay? Like that, you might say. So yeah, you're right. So that is the beauty of this vision. Is there can't be anything greater than this. And because you are the whole, over, story closed. You can say I'm less than the whole. No, I'm not comfortable being the whole. This Ishvara, let me be a Bhakta of Ishvara, and let me be part of the small part of Ishvara. So many people are there, everybody needs help. And so a little help if I get, that is enough. This attitude, we are saying you can grow out of that attitude also. That is what we're saying. So that's what makes this Advaita Vedanta very fascinating to me.
Very true.
Yeah.
Jyotimarji, am I understanding something wrong? When you like paroksha, as far as the explanation is something that is away from me, like, like the knowledge that Ishvara is something other than me. And whereas aparoksha is immediate knowledge, you said. So what is the immediate knowledge? Like, what do you mean by immediate knowledge?
Right. So this phrase immediate knowledge is a technical phrase. And so this is where again theory practice comes. Suppose I tell you, I described to you, I went to the Himalayas and I went to Gangotri. This is where Ganga comes from. And then it's a fantastic site. And I tell you it's cold, and the people come there, and you have to see the birthplace of Ganga, and it flows down like this, Bhagirathi, this, that, everything I give you. Then we took a nice, this one, and we went by the rope and we did this, everything I told you. Now you have a good idea of Gangotri, you have an idea of Rishikesh, you have an idea of all these rivers, and how to go there, what to do, lot of things you know. Is this Paroksha Jnanam or Aparoksha Jnanam?
This will be Paroksha Jnanam, because you have experienced it.
Okay, it's Paroksha Jnana. Paroksha Jnana. There is still pending stuff. What is pending? If you want to have this experience, you have to go do it yourself. You have to go to Gangotri, you got to do whatever you have to do. It's Paroksha Jnana. Therefore, that is the idea. Immediate knowledge means what? When I tell you something and you know it, and the knowing is as good as doing it. Is there such a knowledge where knowing it is as good as doing it? Or is there such a knowledge where knowing need not be, cannot be succeeded by doing?
So just knowing it is enough. That's what immediate knowledge is.
Correct. That is what it is. Immediate knowledge means knowing is all, is the end game. That is called immediate knowledge. And it is not, it cannot be knowledge of something away from me also. Then it is not immediate knowledge. Because I know so many things that are knowledge of things away from me, like this Gangotri, like the planetary systems, like the galaxies, like any other place, like anything which is away from you. And we are all experts in many things. And all of those, that expertise is of knowledge that is away from me. Even if I say I'm a doctor, I'm an expert in the human anatomy, physiology, etc., still it's knowledge of something that is away from me. And the minute there is knowledge of something away from me, theory practice will kick in. Correct? And it's not immediate knowledge. You got to practice, then you got to fine tune, you got to get your certifications every 5 years, and this and that. It goes on and on. Correct?
Mhm.
Therefore, your question is valid, which is immediate knowledge means knowledge which culminates the search period.
So there is no Purusha Prayatna needed in that? Is that what it means? Knowing is enough.
Yeah. To know it properly, Purusha Prayatna is needed.
I see. Okay.
Know it completely. That's it. Yeah. Nasti akritaha kritena. And yeah, Purusha Prayatna is needed, no doubt. Everything we are doing is Purusha Prayatna.
Once you know it enough, that's it.
You know it, that's it. There is nothing more to do with it. And therefore, it is not theory. That's another thing. Theory means, the minute you use the word theory, that means what? There is a gap between me and what I know. And that gap can be filled only with some karma, some practice, some prayatna, constant prayatna will have to be there. Whereas in the case of the snake example, there is no practice. Knowledge liberates. Correct?
Yes.
Knowledge liberates. That's it. Tattvamasi. And here, that is a snake. Liberates. Over. I mean, that is not a snake. That's a rope. Liberates. Correct? Immediate knowledge. That's an example.
So if I say, like, I am the Atman, that's the immediate knowledge. I don't need to do, like, once I know it. Paroksha is, I think Atma is something, and aparoksha is when I know I am the Atma. I think, or Ishvara, for it, in this chapter, he's talking about Ishvara. Like, Ishvara is different than me, is the paroksha jnanam. But if I say Ishvara, I am Ishvara, or like, like when you identify, how do I say? I'm not getting words. But what is that, aparoksha? What is the aparoksha part of it? Aparoksha is my direct knowledge, right? So
Yeah.
the aparoksha part is what is difficult for me.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. So that is where Purusha Prayatna may be needed. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Hello. Sari, Vichuru. Sapadu Vichuru. Sari, Mare. So, today we had a meditation. And there I mentioned, am I audible? Yeah. So, example of a dream. Okay. Dream example. So I said, the entire world, yeah, give me 1 second. My